My name's David Hussman. This is my wife, Kathy. This ranch has been in our family for over 100 years. In fact, we were in the first group of Centennial ranches awarded from the university.
We're located here in Douglas County, right on the very edge of the town of Gardernville. As you can see back here, the town has grown towards us. In 2006, we did a conservation easement through Southern Nevada Lands Act money and with the BLM and American Land Conservancy. So the ranch is in a conservation easement, which means it's a deed restriction. We can't develop it, and it will stay in agriculture in perpetuity. Privately owned still, we get to do our operation.
You can see we raise alfalfa hay here. We also have beef cattle, and we raise sheep, which we were able to market the calves and the lambs. Some of them locally, most go off to a feedlot to be finished, but we do some local marketing ourselves as well.
Some people call us up and ask if they can buy a lamb. We sell them the lamb or a beef live, and then they tell us how they would like to have it cut and wrapped, and we take it to Fallon for slaughter and have it processed and cut and wrapped and frozen, and then we bring it back here to the ranch, and the people come and pick it up right here at the ranch in boxes, and we sell probably half of our lambs that way, and a few head of beef.
Ours is a natural operation, meaning the animals don't get any antibiotics that aren't necessary for their health, and they don't get any growth promoting hormones, artificial hormones. We can't follow the organic guidelines. They're a little too strict for the operation that we do.
Most of our hay is sold locally in Douglas County. We keep our first cutting to feed ourselves, and we sell our second cutting for horse hay.
The ranch is in 3 parcels, which total 560 acres. The home place here is about 300. There's 200 on the west side of the valley where the cows and calves spend their summer, and we have another 60 just south of the East Fork of the Carson River. Supports 100 mother cows and about 50 sheep.
And we have one full-time employee aside from ourselves. He's worked for us for 15 years.
We are a what's called a Subchapter S corporation. We are the only 2 shareholders in it. Was done mainly for estate purposes, because that way the corporation is a continuing entity, and all that changes is the shareholders. And it's also what's known as a pass-through, which means that the income or the loss from the ranch, the corporation, goes on our personal tax return. So it benefits us that way. But we are the only shareholders, and we were certainly not corporate in the typical sense of the word. As the 4th generation myself, of course, agriculture's in my blood, and those roots they go very deep. It's difficult to leave this kind of life that we've come to enjoy here. The profit margins are small, but the intangible rewards, I think, are much greater than that. Where else can you work in such a beautiful setting as this? Be your own boss, make your own decisions. It's just the feeling that I get from being here every day. Besides that, food production is very important. I mean, somebody has to do it, and it's never been a business where you could make a large profit, but we think that preserving land for agriculture production is really important. I always like to say that if we thought the oil embargoes of the 70s were tough times, wait till we get a food embargo if we're not able to feed ourselves. So that keeps me in the business.
I have a son that I brought to the marriage. He loves it out here. He was very happy when we did the easement. I look for him to eventually live here. I'm not sure that he will ever do this work. Not being raised on the land makes a big difference. He has made a life for himself in Reno. He's a plumber, but he does love it here. And I could see him living here and leasing it out to someone else. And that is one of many reasons why we did the easement, was it would stay in agriculture, whether it was ourselves, our family, our next generation. It's not going to matter if it's not a Hussman, it's still going to be in agriculture.